Welcome to Definitely Not Funny. Actually, the least funny person I know. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Definitely Not Funny. I am your host, Jackie Norris, and today we are in a new location. Why? Because I moved to a new apartment, and so this is my new home, and you guys get to see a little glimpse of it. I mean, literally, you only see this one corner of my room, but that's most of the room anyway. So enjoy. We will have some cute art up on the walls, but presently, it's just me and you. And that's great. I'm really excited. I'm excited for the topic of today's episode. We're going to talk about making friends, like moving to a new city, and how do you make friends? How do you meet people? How do you expand your social circle, etc. But before that, wanted to just do a little check-in. I love these check-ins. I just think they're fun. They're really just for me, but I guess they're also for you too, because I don't know, the podcast that I listen to, I love when the host does a little like chit chat before the episode. I don't know if everyone likes that, but that's what I like. So I'm like, okay, might as well do that for my show. Moved here. I'm loving living in a walkable city. Like the area I live in is so walkable. I can walk to the gym. I can walk to the grocery store. I walk to Warby Parker to get my glasses fixed. Like I can walk everywhere, which is so nice and so ideal. So definitely a huge, huge fan of that. And the apartment's coming together nicely. If you follow me on TikTok, you'll be able to see the apartment and you can see me setting up and slowly moving in. And my roommates are great. I live with 2 roommates. They're awesome. They're both moving in sort of throughout this week, but I'm like pretty much fully moved in. And I got to get very clever with storage solutions to make everything fit in my 86 square foot room. But I love my room. Like, she's so cozy. It's really cozy. Everything fits. I have these huge, like, floor to ceiling windows. So I get in fantastic light. It's beautiful out. By beautiful out, I mean it's sunny. It's also 30 degrees, but we can call that beautiful. And yeah, really liking it. So excited to see where this kind of takes me. I worked from home today in my apartment. We have like a little co-working space upstairs, and so that was cool to get to work from there. There weren't that many other people, but I did see a couple like walk in and out. So I was like, okay, I don't think I'm sitting in the right area, because everyone kept walking out of a different area. And I was like, oh, maybe that's the right area to go. But I've never been there before, so I'm sort of like nervous to go there. And it seems like that's where all the cool kids sit. And I don't know, am I like going to just like go sit and impose on the cool kids? But maybe what I can do is on Thursday, get there early and be the first one there. And then either they'll be really mad that I took their space or they'll sit with me. So we'll see. But yeah, it's going really, really well. I watched Saltburn last night. Gotta be honest, I wasn't like blown away. Like I actually really liked it. I really enjoyed like the first 75% of the movie, but then the last 25%, I was sort of like, really? Like I didn't find it super clever. And this isn't giving anything away, but I think everyone's like, whoa, it's this crazy story and it's this big shocker and it's like, what? Like totally mind fucks you. I didn't feel like totally mind fucked by it. Like I didn't think like a movie that I feel like mind fucked by is like Knives Out or Glass Onion. Like those movies, like that's where I'm like, whoa, like no way. The puzzle pieces all work together. That's a crazy twist. Like I wouldn't have ever thought that, like, etc. Like that I think is really cool. I didn't get that same thing from Saltburn, and I guess I was expecting to get that from Saltburn. So I was less impressed by it, but still enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie. I would watch it again. Jacob Elordi, don't even get me started. God, he's so hot. Okay. On that note, let's move to the meat of the episode, which is making friends as an adult. It's so much harder to make friends as an adult than it is as like a high school student or a college student or a freaking elementary schooler. Like making friends as an adult is not easy, but it's possible. And as Glennon Doyle says, we can do hard things. So you're going to have to do this, you're going to have to put yourself out there constantly, but it will be worth it. Promise? Promise. But yes, the putting yourself out there is going to be exhausting. Like it's hard. It's going to be exhausting, and you need to actually like be very thoughtful and intentional with it. You can't just like expect to make friends. So I broke it down because I'm fucking anal. I broke it down into 3 steps: finding friends, making friends, and maintaining friends. So, finding friends. In order to do this, you need one friend. Like, you have to start with one friend in order to go out to a bar or out to a party or some other social event, that like to a run club or something like that. I guess you could go to run club alone. But if you really want to meet other people, you want to have someone who knows other people and you can meet friends through that. That is what I've found to be the most effective. If you move to a city and you don't have like a friend, and they don't have to be a friend, they just have to be a person. They could be a loose connection. So like mine was literally my mom's business school roommate's son. He was like my first friend in Boston when I moved here this time around, and was the one who like introduced me to people. So you just need one person. You got to get creative. But let's say you move to a new city and you're working remotely and you literally don't know anyone. I think this situation is very, very rare, but it could happen if, like, let's say you work for a small startup and they let you work from anywhere. So you decide you want to go work from Amsterdam, but you're working remote and you don't have coworkers. Because I think one that's easier is if you work in an office and you have coworkers and you can say to one of your coworkers, like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? Like, we should do this. And then your coworker can be your one person. But let's say you don't. Let's say you don't have that. Here's what I would do. Take it or leave it. I would get a weekend job at like a coffee shop or a workout studio. So like being like the person at the gym who like checks people in. Like I would get that job to do on Saturday and Sunday mornings, because that way you will be working with people all day and like explore the community a little bit. Like go to coffee shops and go places where it's like you see other people your age working there, or not even your age, but other people that you feel like you could be friends with working there. Then be like, okay, maybe you want to get a job there, because this is not about like making money. It's not about building your resume or your career. It's literally just about like being in some sort of community with other people that you are forced to talk to every day. And then you can find one person from there. That's all you need. And I think that's way better than like, I don't think like going to a workout class, like being like, I'm going to go to Pilates to make friends, is an effective strategy. Personally, I've never made a friend from a workout class. I used to think that that was the way you made friends, and I would try and I'd get really discouraged because I'd like show up at the workout class, do the workout, not talk to anyone and leave. And then I'm like, why aren't I making any friends? I don't think they're very social. Like I don't, but I think if you work at the front desk, you become friends with the teachers, you become friends with the other front desk people, like then it is actually very, very social. So once you have that one friend, now you can find other friends to do things with that one friend. So, and they don't have to be, you don't have to love them. They don't have to be your best friend in the world. They've just got to be like someone that you enjoy spending time with, that you might think might know interesting people and would enjoy going out one night with and doing some sort of activity with them. So, for example, I'm throwing in personal anecdotes in this as well. For example, my mom's friend's son, his name's Max. He won't mind that I'm calling him by name. Max invited me to his birthday party, and I went alone. You have to be comfortable going places alone. You might show up alone. Like you won't. I showed up to Max's birthday party of like, I don't know how many people. I'm going to go with like 90 alone by myself, like totally sober, showed up alone. And I knew Max. So I knew Max. And then he introduced me to one of his other friends. And then I was hanging out with them. And then they introduced me to someone else. And it was easy because it was like I could go up to people and be like, oh, how do you know Max? Or like, you know, because it wasn't just like random strangers at a bar. It was like people there for someone's birthday. And then at one point I met a bunch of girls there. And one of those girls I ended up becoming pretty close with and going out with her and making friends through her. And so I'm going to get to that on the making friends section. So making friends. So you're one-on-one with someone you don't know at a social event. You're at a social event. It's you and one other person. You don't know them. And you're like, what the fuck do I say? Like, what am I going to talk to this stranger about? Here's what I do. I just ask them about themselves. People love to talk about themselves. So I'll ask them, like, where are you from? When did you move here? What area in the city are you in? What do you do for work? Like, what do you like to do for fun? Like, just, I don't even know. Start asking them questions and then find something that they're really excited about. Like, if you get on a topic and you're like, where are you from? They're like, I'm from Minnesota. But they're like, and then you're like, oh, how'd you like Minnesota? Like, oh my God, I love Minnesota. I can't wait to go back. Like, the ice hockey's so great. And, oh, no way. Did you play ice hockey growing up? Yeah, I played ice hockey. I love ice hockey. Okay, wait, I actually don't know that much about ice hockey. What is like, I don't know. And then start asking them questions about ice hockey. I'm not going to keep doing this fake conversation for you, but like, keep asking them questions about ice hockey. And then they'll get really excited. And then they will ask you about yourself too. Okay? They're going to be a normal person. If they're not, then whatever, don't waste your time. But they're going to be a normal person and they're going to be like, what about you? So it's very helpful if you have some sort of passion or hobby that you can talk to people about. So for me, like, I talk about podcasting because it's what my work is. It's what I do for fun. And I love to listen to podcasts. And I know a lot of podcasts really well. And so I will talk about podcasting. I will ask them about what their favorite podcasts are. Usually there's one that I know and we can like chit chat about a little bit. So that's always like a fun, easy thing. But having something that you're like passionate about that someone can be interested in talking to you about. So for example, like, I met this girl this weekend who is doing 75 Hard, and she's getting really into reading these like self-help books. And so I was like, that was something I wanted to ask her about. Like, I'm so curious about the 75 Hard. What's it like to actually do it? Like, is it worth it? Should I try it? Etc. What are the things that she's learned from it? Then like, which books does she really like? Like, what type of things does she like to read? What has she learned from these different books that she's read? And then I have a book that I was like, oh my God, you have to read it. It's The Shift by Tinks. Everyone should read it. Maybe not like straight men, but everyone else should read it. It's a great book. But I was like, you should read it. And so she's coming by later this afternoon to pick up the book. And that's like a way to like have a topic to keep talking about and to be highly engaged in. So come up with some sort of passion or hobby. If it's just like literally read books, read the fucking ACOTAR series and get super into it. And then you'll be talking to some girl at a party and she will say something and like, what do you like to do for fun? Or like, I don't know. You'd be like, oh my God, I'm reading this book and it's the ACOTAR series. And she'll go, oh my God, my friends keep telling me to read it. Should I read it? Yes, you should totally read it. You would absolutely love it. Like, whatever. It's the best book. So that's like that's a little bit of a hack. And then, because you don't want to be the person where they're like, oh, like, so like, what about you? What do you like to do? And you're like, I like to go to bars and I like to go to restaurants. That's great. Like, that's great. Obviously, I like to go to bars and restaurants too. But like, unless you're really into it. Like, unless you're like, I'm a huge foodie. I found the best spot like on this street and they have the best Mexican food. And then like, this is amazing. And when I go travel, I always look up the best restaurants and pick where I want to stay based on where the best restaurants are, like, etc. You get what I'm saying. You always want to end the convo with you always want to end the convo with like, wait, what's your number? Like, would love to grab drinks or go for a walk sometime. Like, was so great meeting you. What's your number? Always ask people for their number. Even if you think like they don't like you that much, just ask them for their number. Like, they'll probably like you. But it's not like asking like a romantic interest for a number. It's like very normal. It's very casual to be like, what's your number? And then immediately get their number and immediately text them your name so that they have your number. And this is what I did at Max's birthday party. And get as many digits as you can. Like, just fucking rack up the digits. Like, meet people, get their numbers, put it in your phone, save the contacts. You may never text each other, but you also may become best friends. You have literally no idea. So get their number so you have some way to contact them. So my example was at Max's birthday party. I met this girl, Kylie, and she won't care that I'm saying her name either. She was so sweet and so great. I actually met a few girls. There were like 4 girls I met that I talked to that I really hit it off with that night. And I got all their numbers. And then one of them, this girl, Kylie, she texted me the next day and was like, oh my gosh, it was so great meeting you. Would love to do something next weekend. And I was like, yes, I would love to. Let's do it. And I never really heard from the other girls, but it doesn't matter because I have this other friend now. And so then that following weekend, I went out with Kylie, and then I met one of her friends, this girl, Cece, who's the fucking best and listens to all the episodes. And Kylie's the best too. They're all the best. And Cece, but I know Cece's listening. I don't know if Kylie's listening, but I know Cece's listening. So then I met Cece's roommates, and then tomorrow I'm doing something for Cece's roommate's birthday, like because I've become friends with her, and through her met her their friends, who's through Cece's roommate's friend, I met this other girl who's coming to pick up the book today. Like, you don't know how you're going to meet your next best friend. And it could be through just a random person that you talk to at a party for 10-15 minutes. Okay. Maintaining friends. This part is really hard. I could do a whole episode on like trying to maintain friendships and maintaining long distance friendships and friendships from college and friendships from high school, people that live in a different city than you, and all of that. I'm not really going to touch on that right now. I'm going to focus a lot more on maintaining friendships like with people you just meet in a new city. You have to reach out. You are going to feel annoying. Get over it. You're not really being annoying. They're not going to reach out. Sometimes they will. Like in the case of Kylie, she did. Maybe, but I don't even know. Maybe I texted her. But most of the time, if you meet someone, so like let's say I moved to Boston. I don't know many people. I meet someone out and they have lived in Boston for 3 years. They have their friends. They have their go-to people that they text when they want to go do something. So it's unlikely that they're going to text you because they don't know you. So why would they text you when they have someone that they've been best friends with for 3 years that they could go out with? You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing personal. It's just that's their built-in routine that they always go out with this person that weekend. So you need to be texting them and reaching out to them and seeing what they want to do. Golden ticket is obviously if someone invites you somewhere. That's like chef's kiss. So golden ticket is if someone invites you somewhere. That's key. If someone invites you somewhere, you go. You go with, unless you will absolutely hate it. Like for me, if someone invites me somewhere, I will go unless it's like a warehouse party at 3 a.m. Then I will not go because I know that no matter what, I will hate it. Like, and I will be miserable and I will not be fun to be around. Anything else, I will go. Unless it's like skydiving. Fuck no. But you know what I'm saying? Like, unless you will be so unbelievably miserable at the activity just because of what the essence of the activity is, you go. You have no idea who else is going to be there. You have no idea how well you're going to click with this person who invited you. Now, you don't need texting buddies. You need plans. You need in-person time. You do not need a texting buddy. So let's say you got someone's number. Do not text them the next day just being like, hey, what's up? Or like, how's your day going? No pen pals. You text them and you say, hey, I found this new restaurant that just opened and was thinking about trying it this weekend. Would you want to go? Very specific, very like gives a timeline, asks a question, and is making plans straight to the point. And then if they're like, oh, I'm out of town this weekend, but I'd love to go next, like, I'll text you when I'm back. Okay? You text them the next week. They're probably not going to text you. They're probably not going to remember. So you text them. That's not you being annoying. That is you just following up and understanding that they are busy and you are not their number one priority. I think having some sort of activity planned is always great, whether that be a dinner or a concert or like a walk or some like event. That's always fun to come up with it, as opposed to being like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? Would love to do something. It's much better to be like, what are you doing this weekend? I really want to try this. We could do this. And who knows? They may shoot your idea down. They may You could text some girl and be like, what, or guy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And be like, oh, like, do you want to try this new restaurant this weekend? And they're like, I'm actually super busy this weekend, but on Friday, me and my friends are going to this housewarming party if you want to come. Okay, great. Then fuck the restaurant. Who literally gives a shit about the restaurant? You're going to the housewarming party. People are super nice, but they're busy. So if they can't hang out with you, it's not because they don't like you. It's probably because they actually can't hang out with you, or because they're just fucking busy and they have their life and they like their life and they don't really need any more additions or efforts to be put in. So it's not a reflection on you. How could it be a reflection on you? They don't know you that well. You know? And then once you click with someone, it will really flow from there. So I'm going to give the example of my friend Lena. She's this girl who went to USC. Shout out USC. Check out my sweatshirt. Who went to USC with me. We were never super close at USC, but we like lived in the same dorm freshman year. And so I knew her, but then I didn't know her super well. She has been living in Boston for the past few years. And so when I came back, I like posted something on my story, and I didn't realize she was living in Boston, but I posted something on my story in Boston. She's like, oh my God, do you live here now? I was like, yes, let's grab drinks. And she's like, yes, let's do it. So we went and we literally got like a 45 minute drink. It was like the quickest thing. It was the only time both of us could do. And it was great. We totally hit it off. And then the next weekend, she's like, do you want to come to this concert with me and my friends? And I was like, yes, I would love to. Even though I was kind of like, man, I'm not really in the mood to like listen to singer-songwriter stuff right now, but like, I will go. Fuck yeah. Like, I will come meet these girls. Met all these girls. It was so fun. They were so nice. And I got so many digits. That's all I'm going to say. Actually, that's not all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep talking. But I got all my numbers and yeah, have plans with some of these other girls individually now. So that's very exciting. It's fun. I like it. So yeah, that's my little spiel on how to make friends, how I've been making friends, how I would suggest making friends, and just kind of the whole process that goes with that. It's not easy, but again, we can do hard things. So on that note, I'm going to wrap up this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening. I know I've been doing a lot of solos lately. I'm going to start doing interviews again. I just need to like meet people to do interviews with. You know what I mean? Like I can't like, if I don't know, it relates to this episode. Like if I don't know people, I can't interview them. So I need to like meet people to interview them, and I need to find a space to interview them. So I'm working on that right now. And because it's not going to be right here. That's for sure. I could do it right here. I literally bring someone into my 86 square foot room and like film a fucking podcast with it. Absolutely not. I can't do that. So that's that. Alrighty. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great rest of your week. You can please like, rate, subscribe, do all those fucking things if you like it. It makes a difference. It really, really does. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Bye. Did you laugh? I didn't.